so I ordered some Chinese food off Postmates.
Postmates again, bro?
It was originally estimated to be delivered in half an hour, but I waited a lot longer than that.
Oh, God. I remember those.
Around the 45-minute mark is when I started getting impatient. I called the Postmate driver, and he picked up after a few rings. I asked him where he was. He asked, "Who is this?"
What the?
I said, "Tracy, the girl he was delivering food for." There was a short silence. Then he said, "Oh yes, I'm on my way." So I
What the?
thanked him and hung up.
He
I
didn't
sat in
remember
my
his
living
own
room with
job?
the TV on and basically just played around on my phone, dying for the Postmates driver to just show up already. Just then my
Oh my
phone started
goodness.
vibrating, and knowing that it was likely the Postmates driver calling me, I felt very relieved that the food was probably here at last. I picked up and waited for him to say something.
Oh, let me take the cops.
I had to say hello like 4 times before he finally started speaking. He said he's outside. I didn't really know how to respond to that.
Okay.
So I said okay, and then
Say what?
described my house to him. Then he said something weird. He
What?
asked me to come outside to get the food.
Yeah, you're supposed to knock on the door though, right?
I opened my front door to check if he was there. He wasn't. I asked him where he was as I stepped out onto the front deck.
Oh no.
There was another pause.
Did she die?
I looked around my whole front yard and didn't see anyone. I told him I didn't see him. He
Oh,
said,
no.
"I see you."
Wait, what?
Again, I didn't know how to respond. But the way he said it was just so creepy.
He's like,
The
I'm over here.
last thing he said before I hung up the phone was, "You look really pretty."
Hey, yo.
At
Don't
that
be
point,
weird.
I went inside and slammed my door shut and locked it. I opened the Postmates app, and it said my food was delivered. I didn't know what was going on here, but I was growing increasingly uncomfortable.
You're probably late at that
I
point.
shut off all the lights in my house and started looking out each window. I started with the living room windows. Didn't see
I would be worried about my food. I'm starving.
anyone. Then I checked the dining room windows. Nothing.
Uh-huh.
Next, the kitchen. Still no one. So I went down to our den, which was by the back door. I hadn't raised the curtain that morning because of work, so I pulled the string to raise it up. Only a little bit. Just enough to peek under to check the backyard. This whole time I was
Excuse me?
looking out windows. I don't think I actually expected to see someone.
He was
When
in
I
your
looked under
window?
the curtain to the den window, I saw a man sitting in my back patio. He wasn't on his phone, he wasn't doing anything.
Oh my
He was
god.
just sitting there, as if he were waiting for me. I lowered the curtain back down, and then my phone rang.
Oh,
It was the guy again.
oh no.
I picked up, and he immediately said, "I just saw you at the window." All I said to him was, "I'm calling the cops," and I hung up.
Whoa, did you get your food at least?
I went back to the living room and called the cops. The man on the phone said an officer would be over shortly. After I hung up, my phone kept ringing. It was the man.
Huh?
I kept rejecting his calls, but he wouldn't stop. Sitting there waiting for the cops was one of the most tense moments of my life.
Poor girl.
Eventually, there was a knock at the door, followed by a man shouting, "Police." I jumped off the couch and ran to open the door. I was confused to see not a man in a police uniform,
Oh no.
but some man in some dirty street clothes who gave
She's definitely dead now.
a disturbing smile as soon as we made eye
It's like
contact.
this.
He opened the storm door and tried to get in, but I pushed the front door hard enough to get it shut and lock it. He didn't bang on the door, he didn't scream anything. I think he simply ran off after that.
Oh no.
A few minutes later, the actual police showed up, and they searched the property with me.
What the? What is that?
You found the man's phone left on the table in the
I'm
backyard.
getting paranoid, bro.
The background to the phone was a white guy with a blonde girl, presumably his girlfriend. I note this because the man who was on my stoop was not white, he was Hispanic.
Wait a minute. I'm Hispanic. Is that my cousin? Classic Mexicans, bro. I mean, classic Hispanics, bro.
I did a little detective work with the
Of
cops
course.
and came to the conclusion
Of
that this man was
course.
not originally my Postmates driver, that he had stolen the driver's phone somehow mid-delivery.
Oh.
The police confiscated the
probably,
phone and left after taking a report.
He's smarter than
As
me.
far as I know, that man never returned to my house.
Petey!
But this was
Petey!
easily the scariest experience of my life.
The most scariest experience in my life would probably be when it came out as gay. Just kidding. No. 100% Homo sapien. The viewers.